Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. A carousel, young love, and high hopes. This week we're going back to 1956 for a fantasy musical film called Carousel, starring Gordon MacRae, Shirley Jones, and Cameron Mitchell. And this is directed by Henry King. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins in the small town of Boothbay Harbor, Maine. Billy Bigelow, played by Gordon MacRae, is a rough-talking, macho, handsome worker at the local fair. He works for Mullen's Carousel as an attraction announcer promoting rides for 5 cents. Julie Jordan, played by Shirley Jones, a young innocent mill worker, is attending the fair with one of her girlfriends. Julie, interested in a carousel ride, is noticed by Billy, who pushes her past the lineup for a free ride. Billy, attracted to Julie, is now taking the ride with her, much to the annoyance and jealousy of owner Mrs. Mullen. Deciding to meet at a secret rendezvous with Julie, Billy is now fired from his job. Julie, who works for Bascom's cotton mill, is reminded by her girlfriend that she will be violating the mill boarding house's curfew if she stays out too late. Now discovered by wealthy mill owner Mr. Bascom, and not liking the company she's choosing, is also fired from her job. Innocently spending the remaining evening together, Billy and Julie decide to get married. Happily married but unemployed, Billy and Julie are invited to stay at cousin Nettie Jordan's seaside spa. Julie, frustrated with Billy not finding work, hears of Mrs. Mullen's wishes to rehire Billy at the carousel on the condition that he leaves his wife. With Julie confiding that she is now pregnant, Billy declines her work offer, but is now worried about finances and lack of work experience. A scheme for coming up with some quick cash, Billy is reunited with pal Jigger Craig, played by Cameron Mitchell, who has a plan. While most of the community are on a nearby island for their annual clam bake, Billy and Jigger plan on sneaking off to the mainland to steal Mr. Bascom's $3,000 mill payroll. So, does Julie become worried when she sees Billy and Jigger wandering off? Does Billy now have a nest egg for their unborn child? Or does a robbery take a turn for the worst and change the direction of our story? Based on the 1945 stage musical of the same name by Rodgers and Hammerstein, theater writing team Rodgers and Hammerstein have garnered 34 Tony Awards, 15 Academy Awards, 2 Pulitzer Prizes, and 2 Grammy Awards, and are best known for Cinderella and The Sound of Music. The original stage production opened at the Majestic Theater in New York on April 19, 1945, and ran for 890 performances. With a 70% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, this film received 3 nominations and 1 win. The Laurel Award in 1956 for Top Male Musical Performance for Gordon MacRae. And this film was ranked number 41 on the list of the 100 greatest musicals. And I think it should be higher up on the list. I think it's a musical you would really enjoy. And our trivia question this week: did someone who starred in our film later find TV fame? Did someone who starred in our film later find TV fame? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Now, since our film is titled Carousel, this week for history, I have a historical carousel to share with you, and it's one that I remember riding on as a child, and that is the Roseneath Carousel. So, situated in the heart of Roseneath, Ontario, Canada, this carousel was built in 1906, and Abilene, Kansas by C.W. Parker, who was known as the king in the manufacture of amusement rides. It consists of 40 basswood horses with tails made from real horse hair and 2 metal boats. Balance comes from a center post and is powered by a 5-horsepower electric motor. It travels at approximately 4 miles per hour through a series of belts and clutches. After leaving the factory in Abilene, some of its early history is unknown due to a fire that destroyed its records at the Abilene Museum. Being portable at the time, it's known that it traveled around the country to fairs and amusement parks, eventually servicing at Mohawk Park in Brantford, Ontario, operating until the end of the rail line. After the rail line closed, the carousel was dismantled and put into storage. In 1932, a group of 7 directors from the Roseneath Agricultural Society purchased the carousel for $675 and brought it to Roseneath, bringing with it 7 wheelbarrow loads of small parts. From 1932 to 1986, the maintenance of the mechanical parts were carried out by local tradespeople, including local high school students repainting the horses. No longer meeting the Ontario safety standards, the carousel was shut down once more in 1985. In 1987, a Roseneath Restoration Committee began a $400,000 fundraising campaign to restore the carousel, including a 5-year, $5,000 Adopt a Horse program. Master carver Konstantin von Wahlberg and his master hands removed 7 coats of paint from the horses, sending the pigments to Europe to reproduce the exact original colors from 1906. Local artists reproduced the 16 original paintings from the gear screen panels and center rounding boards. July 17, 1993 marked the grand opening of the carousel, the only Canadian carousel to receive the National Carousel Association Historic Carousel Award in 2010. Canada Post honored this with a new enchanting set of Canada Post stamps. Number 3 was found on a ring gear during its restoration, with only 4 built in 1906 and the other 3 unknown. This carousel is believed to be the only one in existence of its kind in North America. Just amazing. And the answer to our trivia question this week: did someone who starred in our film later find TV fame? Yes, and I grew up on this TV show myself. Yes, American actress and singer Shirley Jones went on to star in The Partridge Family television series, a musical situation comedy TV series that ran from 1970 to 1974, co-starring her real-life stepson, David Cassidy. Incredible. I'd like to give out a big thank you to the volunteers at the Carousel for making this video possible. It was actually quite hard to film. It runs every 4 minutes, and there was always a lineup. Incredible. Another big thank you to my new subscribers this week, and if you're watching for the first time, can you join them and click like and subscribe? I gotta go. My popcorn's getting cold. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope to see you back next week.